our lunch at the round table here at Counseling Solutions with Miss Debbie Mabry. Hi. And Miss Michelle Moore, our guest today, and Miss Tiffany Hernan.
Hi.
And today we're going to focus on stress and anxiety with Miss Michelle Moore, who is a licensed massage therapist. And she's going to tell us a little bit about what she has going on and what she has to offer here at Counseling Solutions. Miss Moore?
So massage is amazing. I'm just going to start off with that. It is pretty much the pinnacle of stress relief and relaxation. What I do is I massage people. There's different modalities. You can get Swedish, which is the relaxing massage. Nice long strokes. Most people fall asleep. Yeah, most people fall asleep. You have the deep tissue, which is more painful. They say it's painful. We dig a little deeper. I always use my elbows. That's for if you have a lot of pain. So if you have a lot of aches and pains, like back pain, that's when the elbows come out. What's great about that is when I'm done using the elbows on you, it releases endorphins, which makes you happy. That causes relaxation. So yeah, you get a little bit of pain, but at the end of the massage, you're nice and relaxed. Then you have reflexology, which is the theory that all your organs are on the bottom of your feet. And I massage those areas, and some people prefer that over full body massage, which is fine by me. And a lot of people are really relaxed from that because, you know, your feet pretty much keeps your whole body in check. So a lot of people fall asleep with the foot massage, which is why I always end my massages with the foot massage, because then they're out like a light, and then I gotta wake them up and I'm like, okay, you're done. And then we have the prenatal massage for the mommies to be, and that's major because when you're pregnant, a lot of stress, you're building a person inside of you. And so that allows them to relax a lot. The baby falls asleep and they're in happiness. And I've had a lot of mommies to be fall asleep on me, and I try to wake them up, and half an hour later, I'm still trying to wake them up. So those are the three big ones. Oh, and then there's hot stone, which is happiness in a box. So with hot stone, we warm up the stones. A lot of people think that we just naturally just put them on you because, you know, commercials, they put the hot stones right on them. We actually cool them down before we start massaging. And the great thing about hot stone is if you have a lot of tension in your back, you know, from the stress, it actually cuts through the stress and the tension in your back like a knife. It's like having a hot knife cutting through butter. And what's great is after that, you come to another session after that. I can actually work on everything, because what happens with tension is it kind of disguises and it looks like it's something that's not, and it takes a while to figure out what's going on with your back, because you don't feel the knots, you don't feel the little pebbles, you don't feel that. All you feel is a big rock. So that's what a hot stone does, and you can get it all over your body. That's amazing. A lot of people say that's a very grounding experience. They feel close to Mother Nature. I've had a few people cry on me, which was a little weird, but you know, it happens, and you feel relaxed. So everything's pretty much like that. That's
wonderful. That's good stuff. So just to recap real quick, so people who I've had a person tell me that they were really having a lot of back issues, a lot of tension, a lot of pain, and I attributed what they were feeling due to the level of stress they were feeling in their personal life. And she had never equated the stress, the intensity of the stress she was feeling, to what was going on with her back. Right. And so could you elaborate a little bit on that for us?
So a lot of people don't realize that we hold all of our stress in our backs, back shoulders. That's why you see people, oh, my neck hurts, my shoulders hurt, my back hurts, my lower back hurts. What happens is, you know, as you go through daily life stress or extra stressors, you kind of tense up, and what tenses up? Your back tenses up. You just keep clenching and clenching and clenching, and what happens is your back starts contracting, so the muscles contract. Well, what happens is the other muscles that are connected to the back, they elongate, and that's what causes the pain. It's because they're not balanced anymore, because one part's contracted, the other part's elongated. So a lot of people that get, let's say, migraines, what they don't realize is migraines are actually because of your back. Because what happens is your back contracts. So the muscles in your neck and your skull, they elongate to the point where over here, the frontal area, the frontal muscle, which is where the tension headaches start, that elongates and it stretches, and that's what causes your migraines. So stress, because of migraines, you know, can cause your back to hurt. And what a lot of people don't realize is stress equals migraines equals back aches. Even your feet You know, a lot of people, when they over-exercise, oh, that's why I over-exercise. No, you're in stress. There's a lot of stress. So little changes in your life can cause different things to happen. And instead of it being more mental, it becomes physical symptoms instead.
So there is mental stress,
Yeah.
emotional stress, and physical stress.
Yeah.
How do they interplay with each other?
Usually what happens is if you don't get through your stress mentally, it appears physically.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, you know, you need a babysitter at 5 o'clock every day because you have to go to work and the babysitter that you're using just isn't working and you gotta go find a new one. Well, then you have all this stress trying to find a new person to take care of your kid. That causes stress. Well, if you don't realize, oh, this is causing me stress, all of a sudden you realize my back's hurting more. You wake up like you've been punched by a person. Have you ever woken up and you feel like you've just been kicked by a horse?
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Stress.
Okay.
And then to alleviate it, you go and get a massage. It takes away the stress.
It feels like in the middle of the night, you have this dual identity. You're like some kind of superhero.
I know.
And you know that you've been jumping from building to building to building,
Yep.
you know, downtown Killeen all night. You just don't remember it. But
You're
you
the daredevil of Killeen.
Yes. And but you feel exhausted in the morning and you hurt. So you're saying that the way we feel internally, our beliefs, our emotions, are very indicative as to how much stress we can handle physically.
Yes.
Okay. You had said something to me about the foods that we eat can actually help relieve stress.
Yes.
Oh, well, tell us something about that. You brought some info with you.
So a lot of people don't realize that certain foods actually causes stress. And then there's other foods that don't cause stress, that takes away the stress. Think about your fried foods, all the good, yummy foods that you want to eat, but you can't eat because, you know, they're bad for you. But they kind of cause a little stress because, you know, cholesterol goes high, like a hamburger. It constricts your blood flow for like 30 minutes after you eat. Causes stress. There's other stuff that doesn't cause stress, like complex carbs. So, you know, your whole grain breads, your pastas. I didn't know the spinach kind of alleviates stress because, I mean, if you think about it, there's all these nutrients in these foods. That's why we need them. We need the nutrients, we need the minerals, we need
The antioxidants.
the antioxidants.
Yeah.
You know, it's like free radicals are evil, and that's why you make sure that your face is nice and perfect by not eating certain foods because they cause. Same thing goes for stress. So nuts are really good. Pistachios, almonds, they're really good with alleviating it. A lot of people don't realize this oatmeal. I eat oatmeal every morning. It's like a comfort food for me.
It's called Nature's Valium. I read that, yes. No, raw, was it steel ground oatmeal is considered Nature's Valium. And it's legal, you don't even need a script.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know.
I've been taking Valium every single one.
Yeah, you can have cookies. You can eat oatmeal cookies all day. Yeah. Uh-huh. And carrots are good.
Yeah, carrots are good. So, and then you have like the simple carbs, like the potatoes, just make sure they're not fried. You
What
know,
about berries? Like strawberries, raspberries,
those are definitely the antioxidants that actually helps with your insides and everything. So it takes away the stress. Because I mean, think about it. You have the mental stress and it's bearing down on your physical body. You eat these foods that alleviate it, and that alleviates part of that stress. So you're not in as much stress. I mean, some of these things are amazing. I mean, almonds supposedly with the serotonin levels. You know, serotonin makes you happy. So chocolate, dark chocolate.
Yes.
Not milk chocolate, dark chocolate.
Love that.
You know, so all these different foods actually help relieve the stress that's physically going and causing issues inside of your body. I read somewhere if you eat like 32 almonds while you have a migraine, it takes away the migraine. It's like natural ibuprofen. So if you're against taking pills, eat some almonds.
32 almonds.
32 almonds.
Yeah.
Anti-inflammatory.
Yep.
Wow.
So it's amazing. I mean, all these foods, natural. I mean, we have to eat to live.
Right.
Might as well start eating foods that take away the stress, bring up the serotonin levels, bring the Endorphins.
Endorphins. Talking about how stress actually works within the body. The literature says the adrenal medulla secretes the neurotransmitters, the epinephrine and the norepinephrine, and which is actually adrenaline and noradrenaline. And that once that happens, your blood pressure goes up, your endocrine system gets into overdrive, and then your stresses go up, which makes your adrenaline glands work even more. So I guess you get caught in this like cycle, this feedback loop.
Well, what a lot of people don't realize is with adrenaline, so you get stressed, and let's say you start low. So you're a normal person and you get a little stressed. So your adrenaline kicks in and it makes your baseline go up a little bit. Well, every time you get stressed, it gets higher and higher and higher and higher. So every time it could be a little thing and boom, your adrenaline's rushing in. And that causes anxiety, you know? So that's where anxiety comes from. Your body is on an overload because your adrenaline is just pumping, and you don't have time to calm it down. With massage, what's great is not only does it help with stress relief, it helps with anxiety. Studies have shown that, you know, it actually helps with PTSD, some eating disorders, depression. With the eating disorders, which is really interesting, it's because there's this anxiety of being perfect and, you know, they close themselves off. Well, massage, you have to touch, and you have to feel warm. Massage therapists should always be a warmed person. They have to have this motherly sort of aura, but a very comfortable aura.
Or nurturing.
A very, comforting, nurturing aura. Because you can make it underneath the table. Between the two sheets, you gotta trust this person. You just met me and you gotta undress, go in between two sheets and hope to death that everything's A-okay. So they have to be nurturing, comforting, and warmth. There has to be a lot of warmth. So if you have a massage therapist where, you know, they're massaging you and you're just not feeling it, and everyone's touch is different. I don't expect everyone to love my touch because I give off something different than other people, but you should be feeling relaxed, and I call it spa drunk.
That's a good word.
You know, you get out of the massage and you're like, oh man, and you feel like you gotta sleep for 3 hours and you don't know how you're gonna get home. I always say that we have to have ambulances like coming and take people home and stuff.
That's a good massaging.
That's how you know it's a good massage, and you can get it from just 1 hour doing Swedish. You know, you need to be able to take at least 1 hour a month and just dedicate it to you. It's not pamperment anymore. It needs to be considered body maintenance, because how else are you going to maintain your body? If you don't do it, your body's just going to continuously break down. The adrenaline is going to keep pumping up. Your anxiety is going to go through the roof. You know,
Also allow self-care.
Exactly.
That way. Yeah.
So, I mean, it needs to be, that's how it needs to be looked at, not pamperment. It needs to be body maintenance. And that's what I tell my clients. I tell them I like to see them at least once a month. You know, if they wake up and they're in more pain, call me up, I'll be there. You know, some clients, they see me twice a month. I'm okay with that. Hey, if you can afford it, go and get it every single day. Not every day, maybe 5 times a day. Well, 5 times a week.
5 times a day, that sounds good.
I know, right?
Five deals, 5 times a day.
I know. So,
5 for the price of 1. Yes.
but yeah, so I mean, that's why massage is so important. It's not only mentally, it's physically, it can be spiritually, it can be psychologically, it's everything.
Now, I remember reading about the stages of love, and it said that the first stage of love was the reaction, and which was acetylcholine, and that acetylcholine, the neurotransmitter in the brain, was produced whenever people just learning to know each other, they're holding hands. It's that skin on skin touch. And you're talking about being spa drunk. I'm wondering if it's not because you're just loaded with acetylcholine, because you've been doing that skin to skin contact. I would imagine that has something to do with it.
Yes. You got 2 transmitters going at the same time.
And I think that the next stage of love involved GABA and I think serotonin. And so, I mean, talking that love is a chemical reaction, that's not very romantic, but it's valid. but it does translate to massage therapy.
Yeah, it does.
And I can see how people would leave with a more secure, feeling supportive and appreciating. So I think it's physical, mental, physiological.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I have a question. Do you ever have people who have to start small? Like even just
Yes.
because they're not, like you said, the PTSD, they are like,
Yeah.
I don't get touched. Do they even just have to start with like a hand massage? Or like what's the process of working somebody into that?
So I've had a few clients where we start small. So we'll start with a 30-minute session instead of doing an hour. And what I do is I start very soft. Because what people don't realize is your body has to get used to touch. So don't be like, you've never had a massage before, I need to do tissue. No, we're not going down that road whatsoever. We're gonna start with Swedish because we don't wanna overwhelm the body. Because if you overwhelm the body, it's stress. It's the exact opposite. It's it's not going the right way.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
I have a problem with that word sometimes. So it's just, so I start slow and I start nice little, rub.
Yeah. Do you have to do it where they can see it to start, or can they start like that? Does it depend on the person?
It depends on the person. I usually start them face down because what happens is when you're face up, your sinus cavity starts to drain out and then you feel like you're gonna drown, and that's just not cool. So
Okay.
what happens is I start them face down because there's certain points in the back where I can actually drain their sinuses, and they just drain onto the face cradle, so when I flip them over, they're not drowning.
Awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that you can massage someone to help their sinuses?
Oh yeah.
That's not bad in
Or
Central
something.
Texas.
Yeah.
That's all the cedar
Hey,
trees.
resource, girl.
Yeah.
So I could like snack on carrots and spinach.
Yeah.
And a piece of bread,
It's-
and come in and you can drain my sinuses.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
And
And relax me,
then you're spa drunk.
and then I'm spot drunk. That's a good afternoon.
I know.
Okay.
And I've had a lot of clients, they've actually come to me like when something really bad has happened. I've had a few clients, death in the family, the funeral is like in 5 hours and they're coming in for a massage. Now they're crying on the table the whole time, which is expected, but they always say they feel so much more relaxed. Like
Yeah.
it's allowing them to go to the next step of the grief process. And it kind of, I felt honored whenever I find out, oh, my husband just died, the funeral's in 5 hours. I didn't know what to do, so I came in and got a massage. And I'm like, okay, just go do your thing, go to your mind. I'm just gonna massage you. You feel like you need to cry? Cry. I'm not gonna, just do what you need to do. And they always feel better after. And they're like, okay, I can go to the funeral now. Because think about how much stress grief causes,
Yeah.
So that helps too.
Well, we know that PTSD changes brain physiology. We know it changes the size of the brain. We know that grief can also rewire the brain. Through, I think the theory was the path of least resistance, something like that. We form new habits, new ways of thinking. I mean, you're telling me that all of this is connected, and that not only do my sinuses get drained, but you can help me think a little bit more positively and see things in a different light through the massage.
It's pretty amazing.
It is pretty awesome. What made you decide to go into massage therapy, Jims?
When I was little, my dad used to massage me every night. And it helped me go to sleep because I used to stay up all the time. I've had insomnia since I was like 5, I think.
Wow.
And so he used to do that. And then he died and that kind of sucked, but whatever. And then my mom started country western dancing. I know, it's a weird story. But you're in the cowboy boots and your feet swell up to be like the size of boats, and she was an x-ray tech. And they're on their feet all the time. So she would be like, just chop my feet off. And I remember being, 10, massaging her feet for 5 hours and slowly watching her feet go back to normal where she could actually walk. So it's in my hands. A lot of my clients say I have witch doctor hands, but yeah, so.
And how much do you charge for a massage?
I charge about $65. I'm on the lower side because I feel that people should be able to do it. It shouldn't be $100. I mean, yeah, massage is amazing, but it needs to be more practical. You know,
Accessible people.
yes, exactly, because everyone needs it. Even when you don't think you need it, you need it. I've worked so many different places. I've done corporate, I've worked at spas, I've worked at a chiropractor. With corporate massage, like Massage Heights, they actually require their massage therapist to get a massage once a month. Because they understand our bodies are breaking when we're massaging. If I'm doing 5 hours a day, 5 days a week, my body's gonna break at some point. And so they have us get a massage, that way our bodies don't break down. So corporate is really good about that. The only problem is when you're working at a spa, you get kind of booted off when a client comes in, so it's a little harder, but it's necessary. So I charge a little lower.
That's good. I think that's really good whenever you're doing what you do because you believe in it.
Yeah.
Not because of the money you can make. I think that says a lot about you
Oh, thank you.
as a practitioner. Now, I'm also aware that part of your repertoire is that you work with animals for pet therapy.
Sometimes.
You have one of your own.
I do. I have a diabetic lip dog.
Yes. Would you tell us? I mean, we're talking therapy.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about?
The diabetic side or the non-diabetic side?
Well, tell me about why you have this most amazing, beautiful dog with you all the time.
Well, I want a husky. So I'm originally from Houston, and the way my husband got me to move up here was he said, we'll have land, you can have a dog. And so we were up here for like 3 weeks, and I'm like, where's my dog? Where's my dog? I want my dog. And it took us about 4 more weeks to pick Shadow. And that's me going on Craigslist every single night for 4 hours. What about this one? What about this one? So we pick out this gorgeous, all white Siberian Husky. He's my baby. And
And you named him Shadow.
I named him
he's
Shadow,
white.
and he's white. I love irony. We're gonna get a black one and call it Snow. That's what it's.
Or his eyes blue.
Yes,
Ice blue.
ice blue, pierced into your
You
soul.
knew it.
Oh my God, absolutely gorgeous. And it was the next day. We're at PetSmart picking out his doghouse, and he flips out on us. And we had only had him for like 12 hours maybe, and had no clue what was going on. So my husband's like, maybe he has to go to the bathroom. So we go over. Well, he goes and takes Shadow out to the bathroom, and I start feeling woozy. My lows when I start dipping always start with, oh, I need to sit down. And I'll sit down. I'll be on the floor of Walmart with my meter and everything. Check my blood sugar. It's 65. I'm dipping. Shadow comes back. He starts flipping out again. My husband's like, you're on the floor. What's going on? My blood sugar is 65. We go. We get me food. Shadow's okay. And I'm like, Well, one day we're doing treats, and a week after we got Shadow, we got a wolf, because my husband's like, you got your husky, I want my wolf, fine, whatever. So we're doing treats with a wolf and husky. Her name's Akira, she's gorgeous too. Does not have blue eyes, she has the honey brown eyes, but we're doing treats, and Shadow stops all of a sudden, comes up to you, he's sniffing, and starts growling at me. I'm dipping, my blood sugar's 55 now. So he naturally does this. Usually when you can train your dogs by, when you know you're low, you do a cotton swab and you freeze it. And so you play find the low, find the high, and that's how you train them. Shadows naturally does this all. When I'm driving, I bring him into the passenger side, I'll hop over to the driver's side and he'll sniff me. If I'm under 70, I'm not allowed to drive. He will not budge from that driver's seat until he sees me eat food. If I'm driving and I dip, he hits me with his paw. It hurts really badly until I eat. Mommy, you need to eat. Mommy, you need to eat. All of these things, like if I'm dipping and I'm sleeping, he'll scream, bloody murder, warning, warning, you're about to die. So that's how he is. And I brought him into a group therapy one day. And, depression, anxiety, all that. And I started noticing that he doesn't like people with anxiety and depression. He has to go and make them feel good. So he's running around the room. Why don't you feel good? Pet me. I'll let you feel good. And so they're petting him, and as we're getting through the group session, I notice they're feeling better. They're happy. We're talking about sad stuff, but they're more happy about it, So he just runs around. I was in a church once. We were at church at my mom's house, and the girl was talking about depression, and Shadow lost it and tried to get up to the pulpit so that she could pet him so he could feel better. And I'm like, no, baby man, we need to go outside. But that's how he is. And he knows, he just knows. Like, if my husband comes home and he's sad, pet me. So I'm hoping one day to make him a therapy dog also, because I feel like if someone is talking about something horrible, they need something to love on. Animals are amazing with it. I had cats most of my life. My cat got me through my dad's death. Had a bad day, went to the cat, locked the cat in my room, just pet it for like 2 hours. You know, it's just, they're amazing. That's not what they're there for, but it's part of the things that they feel that they need to do. You know, they have this, that's my job, to make my mommy happy. You know, so Shadow just.
Purpose.
I love that you talk about how you see Shadow kind of going nuts and you can read that he's trying to communicate to you.
Yeah.
Because I feel like some people have seen that in their dogs and they'll come into therapy and they'll say, my dog is like completely scattered. They're like, he's not listening, he's not doing all these things. And I'll say, how are you doing? They're like, I'm completely scattered.
Your dog is being
exactly. And I was like, you guys are fine a minute ago. So once we establish that, they're coming in like, you can see, like they see the reaction. And then once they see their dog start doing it, they kind of can look at themselves and be like, okay, what do I need to be aware of?
Oh yeah, my husband and I will get into an argument. My dogs hate it.
Yeah.
They no, you're not allowed to fight. And Kara goes over to her daddy, no, and she'll jump on him. She's an 85-pound bull. Like, when she jumps on him, I'm 5'1", she's like 5'5". It's insane.
Yeah.
Shadow goes to me, he's like, Mommy, you're okay. I'm like, all right. But I mean,
They feel it.
yeah,
They read it.
yeah, and they don't like it. They're like, you don't like it. You must be. We're happy all the time. You must be happy all the time. I mean, it's just. I think the dogs are amazing. Cats are amazing. Animals in general are just absolutely amazing. But they're amazing. They make me happy. So.
You seem to light up. Can you talk about your puppies?
And I have 5 now.
They had babies.
They had
I saw
babies.
it on Facebook. They
Yeah.
had babies.
Yeah, she had a litter of 13.
Beautiful.
I've
Puppies.
always found Huskies beautiful.
Ooh,
Oh.
these babies are great.
Oh
looking,
yeah,
too.
and they got bit by a snake on.
I saw that. But he looks good. But the nose?
Yeah, the nose looks good, but Ro got the brunt of it. She got it in the tear duct and she's looking way better. But the problem is Shadow, my diabetic alert dog, couldn't smell, and I had a seizure on Sunday because of it. So, yeah, don't let your diabetic alert dogs get bit on the snout. It is bad.
Was it in y'all's backyard?
Yeah. Yeah, and then the next day, like, he knew something bad happened, and the next day he was very vocal. He's like, I can smell now, and he could. So he's been very diligent. He was very mad I left today because he knew I was coming here, and he's like, but you have to take me with you. And I'm like, not today, baby. You gotta stay home with the kids.
Maybe next time he come with you and
Yeah.
y'all can show us something on the channel. You can show us some of.
I'll make myself go low, and then you see that.
Oh no!
Don't do
But
that.
I'm sure people would like to meet Shadow.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think that would be. He might have his own fan club.
He should. He's
He
like
should.
amazing.
So tell me, how do you deal with all these puppies now?
I'm in hog heaven. I go out and I spend 2 hours with them. Yeah, we kept 3. So she had to learn 13. 9 survived. We were only gonna keep 2. We were gonna keep the biggest male because, you know, we want a big male. And I fell in love with the runt. And when we were bringing them into the house, my husband started noticing that the runt and the male had to have their paw on me, which means they imprinted on me, and he got really angry. It was like, I want my own, and I'm like, you have a Kira. You don't need it. And so we fell in love with Storm, so we kept 3. And so what happens is they all come up to me. Rogue is so cute. She's the runt. She can jump and kiss me on the cheek. So every time I go into the enclosure, she jumps, kisses me on the cheek. And then I sit down, Logan goes and sits in my lap. Shadow
So
is
you're like an X-Men?
Yes, second generation was X-Men.
Marvel
Yes.
Comics,
Yes. Next generation is going to be, I don't know, Norse gods. Yeah, so.
Submit your names now.
Yeah, exactly. We're always looking for good names, but yeah, so 5 is a lot, but it's when we had all of them. So when we had all 9 plus the 2, we had 11. And when you come to the enclosure, they just rush out to you, and it's like the most beautiful. You feel so loved because they just want attention. They want love, and you can give them all this love. And you can have the worst day in the world, but when you come home to those dogs, and they're so happy. Akira howls whenever Brian comes home. And that just makes, he can have the worst day at work. He hears Akira howling, he has to go over there, love on her. He's good to hug. Good to hug. He's like, I had a bad day. It doesn't matter anymore because I have Akira.
It sounds like you surround yourself with a lot of positivity. What you do as a job is all about healing. What you do at home is all about healing.
Yeah.
And I know that you also have a master's degree in counseling psychology.
Yeah.
Marriage and family.
Yeah. And I'm general psychology, yeah.
So it sounds like you're just really exploring the whole healing aspect.
Healing is so important. I've gone through so much in my life that I realized depression happens, but you have to be positive even when you're going through it, because depression isn't only always being sad, it's just not feeling good some days. And if you surround yourself by animals that love you, people that love you, it helps you get out of it faster. That way you don't spiral out of control. You feel depressed, you go get a massage. You don't feel that sad because you got that skin-on-skin contact. Skin-on-skin contact could be fur and skin for all we know. You know, it's the same thing, so.
If someone wanted to get in touch with you about making an appointment for a massage, how would they reach you?
Well, I also work at a spa. So if you don't want to come to my house, it's a construction zone right now. There is a spa, L Day Spa and Salon. It's in Coppers Cove. I can't remember the number off the top of my head, but you can go Google it. Put L Day Spa and Salon. It should pop up. I think it's like 254-218-5501. Don't quote me on that though. They're also on Facebook, so you can type it on Facebook. If you're not sure about what kind of massage you want to get, I came up with this massage. It's called the L Signature Massage. It's amazing. It's 90 minutes, not 60 minutes, but 90. It's $129. Seems a little high, but let me tell you what it's about. It starts off with hot stones on your back, and then I do a little bit of Swedish on the legs, and then I go back up to the back, and I do deep tissue. I flip you over, do Swedish on the rest of the body, and it ends with 30 minutes of reflexology.
That sounds wonderful.
It is ultimate relaxation to infinity and beyond. It is amazing. Every client that has gotten it has said it's the most amazing massage they've ever had. That it just, because sometimes you don't know what you want. You're like, oh, I have back pain, but I don't want real pain. Or I'm used to Swedish, but I want to try deep, but I don't want to commit to deep. Or so most people don't even know what reflexology is. So, you know, if you don't know what you want, this kind of does all of it.
Give you a smorgasbord on one trip,
Yep.
so you can really get an idea of
Exactly.
what it is that feels good to you. And
Exactly.
that's important, knowing what feels good to you.
Exactly, because what a Swedish could feel for one person, another person needs deep. Or some people don't like it, but they love the feet. Well, you can go in and get reflexology every time.
Seems like just this whole package.
Yes.
You're taking care of any type of physical stress and probably the emotional stress as well in 90 minutes.
In 90 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a good deal.
It is a good deal. So come visit us.
And if they wanted to talk to you, information on when you might have another litter of puppies, can they call you there too?
Come by, I'll give you a card. we're not gonna do it. It sucked the life out of Akira. Like she finally she's about 65 pounds. We're expecting her to be 85 soon, but it took the life out of her. So we're not gonna breed her for another like 3 years, 2 years.
Oh, well, you're gonna have to go somewhere else if you want one of these most amazing puppies.
But we were talking about breeding, mixing Shadow with her Great Pyrenees.
Ooh, that would be beautiful.
So Yeah.
Yes.
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 So we were talking about that. So hopefully that'll happen. And then you can have a Husky Great Pyrenees mix, and those are just as amazing.
Yes.
Just one last thing, the holistic approach, that's what I wanted to address with you.
Yes.
You know,
Oh, yes.
I'm a huge proponent for the holistic approach, and I think just about everybody here is, you know, on board with that.
Yeah.
And for people who aren't into taking all the pills and being, you know, just inundated with one drug after another, having a service like you or a resource like you made available to people is such a healthy alternative to what's out there now. That's not to say that, you know, drugs can't be a good thing, it's just, I think, my own personal opinion is that society has just become a little too comfortable with that being the first recourse, opposed to it's just one of many.
Yeah.
And you being able to offer such an holistic approach for people who don't want to, you know, flood their system, their body with a lot of chemicals, and you're really not sure what's being pressed into those things. That's awesome. That's truly awesome.
Thank
So
you.
I really applaud you for taking the holistic approach for what it is that you're doing.
It's the best approach.
Yeah.
And I always say that, you know, you can take the pills, but you can go get a massage too. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So,
And you know, it might be possible that you start with the massage, and if that's not effective to taking care of the problem, then you look into the medicine.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be one or the other. You could do both.
An
Yeah.
integrated approach, yeah.
Integrative is very powerful too.
yeah, and I do have some clients, like I can tell that something's on their mind, and I'm like, look, I don't know what's going on with you, and I actually do recommend this place, and I give out the number.
Counseling solutions.
Counseling solutions.
Yay.
And I don't know if anyone's called or anything, but if they're crying on my table and I know it's not for me, you know, like tell me if I go too deep. Sometimes they don't tell me and they start crying on the table, and I'm like, is it me? No. I'm like, look, I don't know what's going on. I know it's not my place, but there is an awesome place called Counseling Solution. Do you want me to give you the number after the session? Usually they say yes. I give them the number.
Wonderful.
That way, because it should all be under one roof. It really should. It should all be together.
Oh, I love that. It's you know, you talk about having the dogs at home and your work is where the endorphins, even if I bet the massages, those who give massages, I'm guessing those endorphins go for you too.
Oh yeah.
And it's all intentional. None of that happened by accident.
No.
You had to go out and make those things happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
Yay. Sounds good.
Yes.
I want to also thank Kathy Klingler, who's sitting over here to the corner. She's our director, producer, editor, and cue card person. So she tries to stay off. You've seen her on before. Oh, come on, Kathy.
Yes.
Come say hello. Hello, Kathy. And if not for Miss Kathy, this YouTube video stuff we do wouldn't happen. So I want to thank Tiff. Thank you, Miss Michelle, for
thank
being
you guys
with
for
us.
having me.
And thank you, Miss Lynette. And we're going to sign off, and we'll see you on our next episode of the Roundtable.